and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. And for the first time on Tossing Plastic, we are going to revisit one of our mad disc golf science experiments because I think it has potential and I think we can do it better. Hopefully all of you guys remember the modified Thunderbird. And yes, I did go back to the drawing board and I read all of your guys' comments, which I greatly appreciate. And I think we can make a V2. I think that we can make this disc again a lot cleaner, get rid of a lot of the ugly, especially this giant heavy bolt. And like we figured out in the last episode, weight is our biggest issue. So we are gonna revisit it. Today, I actually have two of the same disc, which will help a lot with the sizing. We have two R Pro bosses. So let's get over to Hole 4's bench, AKA our workbench, and let's get started. So now that we've made it to the OSHA approved work area, we are going to go over some of the things that I brought that should make this process more efficient. And the first thing that we are gonna start off with, yes, we got two R Pro bosses. They are the same disc, so they should have the same size flight plate. Plus, we are gonna start with a much lighter disc. When we started with the modified Thunderbird, it was your classic 175 max weight driver. This R Pro Boss is 161. So right out of the gate, we should drop our weight quite a bit. Number two, and something I did see in the comments, a lot of you recommended, is a hole saw. Now this will give us a lot better finished product than the old eyeballed hand snip cutouts I have here. Plus it is a little smaller, so we shouldn't have that ugly overlap like we had in our bottom U-play disc underneath. It should all look a lot more smoothly and have perfectly cut holes. Now, of course, you guys remember the giant bolt that I used to hold these pieces together. And looking back at it, this is like elementary grade work. You know what I'm saying? We're here to really revamp this idea. So I did get a rivet gun. And so instead of that big ugly bolt, we're gonna have a one small aluminum rivet. This should work out tremendously better and be a lot less weight. And I did bring my little scale. I never did actually weigh the modified Thunderbird, and I'm curious what the weight of this thing will be and what the weight of this finished product will be so we can compare. Now, the first thing that I want to check, because I still haven't, I've been very curious since we filmed the video, is what does this thing actually weigh? And we are coming in at 217 grams. So it is pretty heavy. Now, the interesting thing is I've thrown a 200-gram Condor a million times. Something about, I don't know, this disc being smaller and also much heavier, that is a significant increase, another 20 grams compared to your normal distance driver is only 175. So it's actually closer to like a 50-gram increase. It did legitimately hurt the arm. So hopefully we can get by that and we will end up with just your standard weight driver on this experiment. As I weigh these R Pro bosses, the blue one is at 165, it looks like, and the white one is at 152. Interesting, I thought the blue one was lighter. I do like the blue more, and I don't know if we need to shed that much weight. I wanted to end even a little higher than 175 just to gain some stability of our finished product here, but I think it'll be smart. We'll use the white one as our top and the blue one for underneath. One surprising fact that I always think about when I'm sitting here performing these ridiculous experiments is that no one has ever walked up on me while I'm doing them, which is a big reason why I choose this course, so I can just have some peace. But man, if someone walked up, what do you, like, honestly, like, what do you think would be going through their mind to just see this mess, this madness right on a disc golf hole at 7 in the morning? Now, unlike the last time, this should actually just fit in there perfectly, and it doesn't. Why doesn't it? They're the same disc. I don't understand. Am I cutting it too good? All right, well, again, we're gonna have to do some trimming. There we go. That's actually good. I'm happy with that one. Now next, we are going to measure the outside of our disc again and get our 4 center marks so that way our drill holes, you know, are symmetrical and match a lot better than this, hopefully. We are close enough to 26 once again, so we are going to make our marks at 0 and 13, and then we'll split the middle with 6.5. Now that I have my 4 marks, we are actually going to fasten this flight plate right now. And we're gonna do it so that way it stays in place. So when I do take the hole saw and drill through it, it should just be, you know, they're already lined up. We're not like this where we had to hand snip and mark out 2 holes and hope that they lined up perfect. As long as I can secure this flight plate in there, then do my hole saw drills, it should be perfect. Actually brought this ice pick, and I knew that I was going to use the ice pick to make the hole for the rivet, because I didn't want to risk using too big of a drill bit. All right, now I really have no idea if indeed this rivet will allow the disc underneath the spin. I'm not sure how tight the rivet's gonna be. I've used plenty of rivets in my life, but not on 2 thin pieces of plastic. So let's find out. Oh, it didn't stick. It did not stick through the bottom side. Looks good, but didn't stick, so I'm gonna try a longer one. Luckily today we are fancy. We actually have options here on the channel. Usually the only options are whatever spare parts I can find in Greta, but today we came prepared. Oh, it pulled it. These things are being a lot sloppier than I would have thought they would be. I mean, they are not, they're just pulling the disc and everything all over the place. I thought these would work perfectly. I don't understand what the problem is. All right, well, it is holding. I don't know how well or how long it's gonna hold, but it is indeed holding, so we are gonna move on. Our hole saw is 1.5 inches, so I think from our rim here, we're gonna come down 1.5 inches, which should give us, you know, about 3/4 of play on each side. And this being smaller, I think that's the play. Upgrade. Need more pressure. All right, I don't know how to go about this. I don't know how to go about this at all without just completely warping the disc. There's one. We messed it up. I needed to bring these holes higher. They're not gonna cover all the way, I don't think. Oh my goodness. So frustrating. I mean, I thought we could slide it down because the hole saw is so much smaller than the holes that we cut by hand, that I thought this would work, but as you can see, it just doesn't. I tell you what, it's a lot lighter. I mean, we definitely achieved our goal, and the holes are definitely cut better. Ooh, we're sitting at 170. So we actually did that perfectly. We came out right where we wanted to. We just messed up on the holes again. Man, I cannot believe I did that. I'm kind of running out of, you know, experiment discs. You know what I mean? Like, I don't, just they need this, the holes just need to be smaller. They just need to be like just half this size to be safe. Man, I actually had a smaller hole saw too. Like, ugh. So here's our finished product, and even though I had a lot of frustration, we did get a lot of wins on the road to making the next evolution of disc golf. Starting off with the hole saw. Now the hole saw did give us the perfect cuts for when we have vents open. This disc looks great. The rivet's nice. It's not as bulky and ugly as that bolt. Our holes are cut. You don't see the other color on the other side. But where I messed up, and this purely was my fault, is we can't get a full vents closed. Now honestly, that happened because I got a little too cocky. I thought when I would just use a smaller hole on the hole saw, I would be able to drop these down away from the rim a little bit so they're not right on the edge of that rim. You can feel that when you're holding it, but I dropped it down too much, and this is very easily fixable, but the problem is I only get one shot and it cost me 2 discs per attempt. Well, the other issue was the rivet. Now the rivet did not mushroom and close on the backside, and I don't know if that's just because that was a pretty old rivet gun. I have used a rivet gun a ton, but it's usually with metal, so it also could just be the fact that it's two very thin and very flimsy pieces of plastic. Now the interesting thing is from V2 to V1, V1 actually did pretty decent with the vents closed. The biggest problem was when the vents were open, so it should be pretty doable. I'm confident that I can get this ironed out in the next version or two, and I just get frustrated because I want it to come out perfect. I want to bring the best disc golf content I can to you guys, but I also think being along for the process is just as much fun. One really quick thing, I've had people ask me this quite a bit throughout the life of the channel. And guys, if you have any spare parts lying around, if you have any discs that just have no use anymore, maybe they're warped, they're too beat in, and you want to donate them to the cause of the mad scientist, on my banner page, right on my YouTube homepage, there's an email. If you guys want to send me an email, like I said, if you have any discs that you want to donate to the cause, this is what they're gonna look like. So unless you send me something cool, I promise I will not cut up anything cool, but if you send me some spare parts, this is the cause that they're going to. And if you do, guys, put a note in there. Let me know your name, where you're from, let me know if there's any story behind the disc. I would love to read it. But now it's time to go throw this thing. We are gonna open the vents up on this puppy, and we're gonna give it a full send. You know the hole. 320 feet, dead straight, a lot of trees up there to contend with, and at the end of its flight path, it does start to go slightly uphill. Let's see how our modified R-Pro Boss will throw. Oh, stable. Stable. Something about opening those vents does like legitimately make the disc more stable, which I'm excited for because I can throw that a lot harder. All right, so we only threw that about 50%, so I'm really gonna try to reef on this thing. And if you guys like this newer angle for the test hole, more elevated, more straight on, I do feel like it opens up your field of view quite a bit more. Make sure you let me know in the comments. All right, so when I throw it hard, absolute laser. We landed right up in that gap in there. It's probably, I don't know, like 250 or so. But again, no glide whatsoever. So as we move forward with experiments, I don't know, we're gonna have to try to find, if we wanna create the next evolution of a disc golf disc, we gotta figure out how to keep our glide. You know, that's pretty crucial when you're playing the game. Now, let's try it vents closed. Well, as I walked up there, it actually made its way up there farther than I thought. We were probably closer to that like 270 range. So that's actually a lot better than I would have expected. Now we're gonna close our vents as much as we can. Obviously, we still have, you know, quite a bit of air coming through, but I'm guessing it's gonna add some glide, maybe take away some of the stability. Again, I'm not sure if the stability has anything to do with this, so let's find out. So guys, unfortunately, during that throw, my microphone died, which sucks because I did have a lot of excitement. That throw actually turned out quite well. When we did close the vents, we did get a little bit of understability, and as you can see, we got our glide back. That's where it landed. The basket's right up there. One of our best throws so far on the Mad Scientist experiments. And I'm gonna go charge my mic a little bit, and maybe we'll throw some ace runs with this thing. But now hopefully we can make our putt with our ghost putter. Whoa, we actually hit the basket. Like, that's better than I expected. Oh. Well, here we are, guys. We're only gonna give it a couple shots, but I figured might as well come to the ace hole. We have 218 feet, dead straight, kind of a tunnel shot, and we are gonna go vents open because it only being 208 feet, we wanna take away that glide. So we are gonna go vents open. We're gonna throw each of these maybe twice, see if we can get lucky and make something happen. Up first, we're gonna go with old school V1. Oh my gosh, I hate that thing. I hate that disc. It is so heavy. It is not, I should just leave that there. I don't even know if I'm gonna go try to find that disc. But now we are gonna send V2. A lot lighter, a lot better feeling in the hand. Oh, a little height. That was so straight. I mean, that's a birdie putt all day. We just didn't get the height on it. All right, we are gonna try it again one more time. I'm gonna go vents closed on this. This disc is so much different than our V2. I'm gonna try to go vents closed, try to get our glide back, hopefully just at least make it through the Mando. Oh, well, just threw my back out, I think. I don't know. We're gonna go half open on V2. We had a great line. It did get to the ground a little too quick. So I think we're gonna add a little more glide, hopefully make it. Oh, well, we're 2 for 2 on birdie putts. It's so hard when I start something like this. I just wanna keep going until I actually get the ace. Oh no, I just had to go for it a third time and the disc broke in 2 pieces. Like, I guess I deserve that. And that wraps up day 2 of our modified disc experiment. And as you guys saw, we had a lot of ups and downs through this episode. It didn't come out as perfectly as I wanted it to, but I also need to understand that we did get some wins, we made a step forward, and at the end of the day, guys, we had a lot of fun doing it. If you guys are enjoying the content, please consider hitting that subscribe button, leaving a comment, turning on notifications. Let me know if you have any other ideas of disc golf experiments that we can make. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Now it's your turn to go toss some plastic.